Since I wanted to start this project out right, I decided to make a to-scale drawing of the Iron Giant that I could then use to cut out and transfer onto the wood that I was going to use. After tracing the outline of the Iron Giant shape onto the wood and removing the excess wood around the pencil markings, I started the work of defining the front view shape of the head. This is always a tricky part because I have to make sure to leave material for parts that haven't even begun to materialize yet. For sure, one of the challenges of winter wood carving is throwing on layers of clothes needed to keep me warm while working in an uninsulated garage. Here, I take advantage of a rare, mild day to remove some of the flat, blockish shape of the Iron Giant's torso with my angle grinder. Although I wouldn't want it to take a bite out of my hand, I do love this tool. A nice milestone to reach. All the front view roughing in is now complete, and I get my first glimpse of what he'll look like complete. Thank you, Noodles and Company. You not only make delicious food, but your chopsticks make wonderful Iron Giant joints. A trick I learned a long time ago watching a woodworking show was to use a piece of tape to mark the drill bit to prevent drilling too deep into the wood. I sure needed it for this piece. Back to shaping the wood, but this time I'm making finer and finer cuts. From here on out, a delicate touch is called for. Cuts like the one I'm making now are very risky if I don't pay attention to the wood grain. Cutting against the grain can cause the wood to fracture, not to mention raise the blood pressure of the carver. I learned to, in a way, respect the wood I was working on making this particular part. There's only so much detailing that wood grain can withstand before it gives way. This multi-purpose cutting bit is a favorite of mine. It's like a mini circular saw and does a great job of making quick, clean cuts to define an edge. Some more detail work that sure makes me appreciate how much easier this work is with the power of electricity. Making the hands was another example of having to accept the fact that I just wasn't able to add all the details I originally wanted. I think I enjoyed making the head of the Iron Giant so much because it's one of the few rounded surfaces on the whole piece. For those of you who've seen the movie, you realize just how important the eyes of the Iron Giant are, so I wanted to make sure I got them just right. Starting work here, I realized that there were 4 layers that made up the abdomen. It's a test of nerves because one false move and I would need to start all over. To give you an idea of why this part of the Iron Giant that I'm trying my best to replicate was so difficult, the diagonal cut I'm making is through 2 layers of material, one of which is already angled. A week prior to this, the wind chill outside was -35, but today's balmy 43-degree temperature allowed me some unexpected but much appreciated fresh air woodworking time. I assembled this sanding and detailing montage to demonstrate just why this very important step made this my most challenging project to date. On top of the initial dark gray base coat, I'm adding spots of gold paint in areas that I'll later scuff with sandpaper to mimic corrosion and add a realistic touch. And once that dried, I opted for a final paint color that was authentic to the color of the Iron Giant in the movie. This Iron Giant is choosing not to be a gun, so he gets to have his bright yellow wide eyes. To achieve a metallic look, I'm adding a double coat of clear polyurethane to go over the paint. Since I opted to give him movable joints, the Iron Giant can't stand on his own, so I made a quick support stand to help hold him up. I couldn't be happier with the finished product. As I've mentioned, this was by far the most difficult project I've ever tackled, but as is the case with so many things in life that are difficult, this was well worth the effort, because the skills I picked up and practiced with this project, I can apply to pieces down the road. I'd like to thank you for spending time watching this video and getting a glimpse of a newfound hobby in my life that's brought me so much joy. If you'd be interested in receiving updates whenever I upload new videos of my projects, please be sure to subscribe to this channel. Thanks again.